All right, welcome back to the BMX Commentator Podcast. I'm your host, Rich Eames. Had a little bit of a delay from the last episode just due to my own complete incompetence, but we are back. Absolutely delighted to bring on Dutch team rider and now festival organizer. Never thought I'd use those two words in the same sentence. Mitchel Schotman. Mitchell, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hey, welcome. Well, thanks. Well, first, thanks for all that you asked me. Well, I'm doing good. Well, you sent me like the festival. That's all behind us now. I'm focusing on my professional career to be a big BMX racer again. And then, yeah. Well, last week we just posted that next year there will be a festival again. So that's something cool.
Yeah, you're going to be a busy man, I think, in 2025. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely awesome. You've got to have, more than one iron in the fire, I suppose, just to keep life interesting. But yeah, you're currently in Denmark at the moment, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. Like daughter, my girlfriend, she's living in Denmark. We got like a family weekend, so I jump in the car, drive here. Like what is it, 7, 8 hours drive or something, and be here for the whole week. Got my bike with me, just train, go to the gym. Well, it's always good to see my girlfriend, and then yeah, that's it. And then well, it's always also good just to train. Like yeah, sometimes I mean, well, she's normally living in Copenhagen just for next year for the Worlds. That's also good to be in Denmark.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Because I was looking on your Instagram earlier on today, and I noticed that you'd actually ridden the new track in Copenhagen.
yeah,
How is that?
yeah. Well, actually, it's really good. Like last year, they rebuilt like the whole track, but not rebuilt the corners. And now Dick Tracks, they came back like what is it now, 2 months ago or something, and they rebuilt the corners, and now everything is just now it's everything is connected, is perfect, and the turns are just really big. Like they were the same corners as like back in 2011 with the Worlds, and compared to now, like the racings go faster and the turns, of course, they're way bigger now, and yeah, it looks really good. But when I was there, it was a bit soft, so well, it was a bit bad. I cannot jump the whole track, but it looks really good, and I think it will be really good for racing next year for the Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think? Because obviously we've not been to Copenhagen for the World since 2011,
No.
and the sport's grown and everything else. So, do you think it's going to be quote unquote the best Worlds ever?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think so because well, for me, maybe yes, because for me it feels like Copenhagen. I come there like multiple times a year, so maybe it feels for me like an home track, and maybe like yeah, I will not say like a home race, but yeah, I know the track, so I think that's always different than if you go somewhere for like a week. You have to know the track and then race there. But a lot of people talk still about the 2011 Worlds, so I think next year as well, the racing will be so good, and they rebuilt the whole track. And especially, well, the funny thing is, the first straight is still the same as it was in 2011. So
Oh
yeah,
right,
cool.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's quite funny. Like the triple into the first corner is quite big, and it's still big. So I can imagine how it was in 2011. Well, that was my. Well, the funny thing, I was boys 15. That was my first ever World Championships. So to go back there, that yeah, will be great.
yeah. Good, good. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm looking
yeah.
forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. But yeah, I wanted to dig in on a few other kind of topics with you whilst you were on the podcast. And the first of those, obviously, you've just released the documentary on the FTR festival,
Yeah.
Feel the Rhythm, which obviously very good with the rhythm straights and the rhythm racing, and then the rhythm of the music. How I thought that was very apt. I
Hmm.
really like that actually. So yeah, I want to dig into that a little bit and just find out how an elite level BMXer becomes a festival organizer. So just give us a bit of background on how the FTR festival came about. How did the idea kind of spring to mind for yourself and Justin?
Well, like back in well, then we go, I think 4 years ago, or something. Like just now, we started with like our own clothing brand, and then already when we just signed ourselves in for like the clothing brand, we walked around with the idea to hold like an straight rhythm. And Justin, he always did like the Kim indoor race, and the last few episodes, I just helped him with organizing. I just like that's just really fun to do something back for the sport, just holding like a race, and then a bit like a little bit of a party and that. But that was just in Justin's dad's like garage, just they're quite small in the garage. Yeah, when it's full, and that's it. But we always have the dreams or like the plans to go outside and make it all bigger. But then, of course, when you want to do it outside, you want to go bigger. There's so many rules, like with commune and things like that. And we would just think about it, and then I think last year or something after was somewhere around before the World Cup in Argentina, where we came with the idea, okay, maybe we can do it next year after the Olympics. So, well, and the rest is history. Like that's how it all started. Like we started with a paper and just write everything down, search for people around us, and then week by week we came there, and then yeah, this is what it is. And I'm looking like back to a really good first edition. Of course, there's always things you can do better or do different things like that. But yeah, and now last week we just put on Instagram that we're going to do like a second edition. So what we're looking forward to do it like many years, and then we will see how big it can go.
Yeah, so you've probably learnt plenty of lessons from the first one then, and
Yeah,
you're going to take
yeah,
those through to the second edition.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. Like there's so many things already, like things that went good. You just okay, you set them on paper for this year again. Okay, that went good. What about this? Well, that can be better, or just totally something else. So then you're gonna look what you're gonna do there and things like that. So that's how it goes as well again for this year. But I think, well, that's what I think now. I think the second edition will be a little bit easier, but still, you always want to go better and better. So it's never get easy, and it will never stop with think about new plans or ideas.
yeah. So, kind of the organisation, that's probably the best part of a year, then I would think, to put that together.
Sorry, say it again.
Best part of a year to put the whole thing together.
Yeah, I think so because well, now again, there's like the 3rd of August. There's the Worlds, so it's like 3 weeks later than we holding like the festival. And I saw like the end of September. Then there's the World Cup in Argentina. So yeah, I think it will be good now. But like that's what we learned already from this year. Like we did so many things ourselves that like we worked like yeah, well we worked our ass off for like for 2 weeks like physically. And of course, if you want to race the World Cup in Argentina, then we have to plan things or just how we're gonna do it like that. But yeah, there's still a long road to go. So now we started earlier with the new plans for next year than we did like this year because the first things we already booked for next year.
All right. Okay. So the plans
Yeah,
are already in motion.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
how many days does it take to set that up and then tear it down again? I know you said you were full on for 2 weeks. Was that the whole 2 weeks across setting everything up, running the festival, and then tearing it all down again?
Yeah, because well, we started in April with like they put like the dirt in it for like half a meter high. Well, you've seen the documentary, I think.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I hope so. But no, and that's what we're saying as well. Okay, we built it up like for half a meter high, and that was in April. But yeah, there was like with big machines, we could not really help. Well, that was like a few days, and then Dick Track came, so that was not well. We could not help that much either. But then be the week before, like on Sunday, we just already started. We like to mark everything on like on the field where it has to be the gates, where it has to be the tent, where it has to be like the well, for example, like the stands, where have to be the food things, everything like that. We started with it on Sunday, and then on Monday the first thing rolled in till Thursday, and Thursday evening was the first party like from Justin's dad, he got like this company holding like a party there. So from Monday till Thursday, we made like the average days for like what, I think 12 till between 12 and 15 hours. And on Saturday, I was there like in the morning around 8. And well, that's the funny thing. If you organize your own party, you also have to be the last. Well, you have to be there the first, and you have to be there the last. And I went to bed around 4 o'clock in the night, and I was there on the field again on Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning to clean everything up. So, well, if you count a bit like those days, there was a day around 18 hours I made like on a Saturday. Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, you cannot really combine that with like, well, being like BMX athlete then, and like combine it with like to be holding like a festival.
Yeah.
And then when you think, oh, you're building everything up, and then if you then you have to get everything down. So that took us like in total like 2 weeks, and like physically we were just like we were just done. But it was like so worth it. I If I can start again tomorrow, I will directly do it just to
Yeah.
build everything up and build everything down. So yeah, it's totally something else than like train every day and being an athlete. But still, I think also in sport life, you want to do things really, really good for yourself and things like that. And that's the same as like what I see now in the festival. You want everything has to be good. We only just went for a 10 and not even an 8. Everything has to be good. That's how we just aim it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the best part then of being a festival organizer? What was the moment where you thought, yeah, we've done the right thing here. It's as we
Yeah.
wanted it to be.
Well, that's still till the day. Sometimes I'm asking myself, why do I like it so much? If I talk about how many hours, you think like, are you crazy or something like that? But what I really like is that we started like last year, what it felt like with a white paper, and you got ideas in your head and you write everything down and you just talk with each other. Okay, we're gonna do this. Yes, we're gonna do this. No, okay, next thing, next thing, next thing. And then things coming closer. You got like deadlines every week. You got like deadlines that has to be filled in. That has to be done. You have to be in time to uh, connect with people, but otherwise they are just already fully planned, things like that. And then in the week, things coming close, like every day as well. In the week, especially, you got so many deadlines you have to tick off, and then on Saturday it's just done. You feel like the first people they come up, and then you're just like, okay, I think we are done. And then what it does to me, what it was really good, that everyone is just walking around smiling and just like, oh, they give you like a fist bump, like, oh, you did a good job, things like that. And that's like the small things why you're doing it for. And yeah, what it like, and still now that people just text us like, oh, you did a good job and so good that you're gonna do it again next year. And that's what we hoped of course before, and that's also what happened after. So I think that makes it the best, like all the good reactions, and that's also why we just keep going and going.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you got any specific changes that you want to make for the 2025 festival?
No, not really, because well, we got our own things a bit. Okay, maybe we want to do this, maybe we want to do that, but still we have to do a few things from this year, and then if that's done, then we can also sit with like our team. Okay, then we write everything on paper, what we want to do differently than last year. So I cannot say something now directly. Oh, that has to be different or that. Well, the only thing I know what has to be different is the weather, because
Absolutely.
that was just really really shit. I've never experienced something like that, and it was kind of felt for me like really dangerous and excited, like, oh, what's going on. But luckily also that went okay. But yeah, we not finished the racing, and that's also what I do different for next year. I want to finish the racing, of course.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
The racing itself looked really good. The track looked amazing because obviously if you've got Damien Gaudet to build it and
yeah.
dig tracks, it's going to be absolutely banging. So what was the reaction of the athletes then who took part? Because I know you had younger riders, you had a few elite riders come in. It looked really well attended. So what was the feedback that you got from everybody else? Were they just completely happy, or did they want little changes making?
Yeah, well, that's the funny thing. Normally on racing, you always there's like kind of if you like in the riders area, there's kind of tension, like everyone want to win and things like that. But here was like everyone was just chill, and they were like, well, if I win or I lose, they not really care. They said, oh, there's a party after we go in the tent and we go party there. And there was like something I've never experienced like that, and everyone was so happy because all the riders, I think, especially all the lead riders in that, they said like, "Oh, there's finally an big straight rhythm race now with good athletes, like many riders, because you've seen it in the motocross, but now it was the first time in BMX, so everyone was quite happy about it." And well, what I've seen myself, like as an organizer, like sometimes the track looks a bit small, but that's also hard to change because we got like riders from 8 years old or just elite riders, and we not got like a pro set or things like that, what you got on a normal track. But there were
Yeah.
not really big crashes. Well, there were a few, but nothing, yeah, big special things. So yeah, I think we will not change big things for next year.
Yeah. So I saw a few riders on the documentary, Amadou Mir and Simba Darnand and a few others. Drop some names then. Who turned up to actually race the first field rhythm, straight
Uh,
rhythm event?
well, Kai White was there.
Oh, Kai was,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, he was there. Together with his brother was there as well. Yeah, Nakai was there, like Theo Chappelle,
Yeah.
Renaud Blanc. Um, I'm just thinking, like, they're so, and we had like a few French guys from Belgium. Uh, Italia was there as well. Like, I'm just thinking. Well, there was like in total like 12 different countries. So and
Wow.
them like few, of course, like out of Denmark, a few they were like riding there. So it was so good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for a first event, that's absolutely awesome. Do you think seeing the success of that and hearing probably, that how good it was, do you think you'll pull a few more extra riders in next year, especially on the elite side?
Yeah, maybe. And well, that's the thing with what we have to find out as well, because now it's like 3 weeks after the Worlds, but also few will maybe just go to Argentina. Well, I hope everyone will go, but I mean, they will just train for Argentina. So maybe they think like, yeah, okay, I will skip it. Or a few will still think, okay, I will go there, just see this in training, go there for one day, just race the straight rhythm, have a small party, and go home again. So I hope, because especially now, because the social media things like that, why not hope? I think, and it will be bigger. So more people, maybe they now want to come and they not want to miss it for next year.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think that whole straight rhythm kind of setup, the fact that it's such a like a straightforward and easy thing to understand, I think it's absolutely, ripe for, sponsorship from energy drink companies and that kind of thing. I think it's something that, a company can get behind to sponsor it, but also as well, you can run those kind of races in kind of different locations. It wouldn't be outside of the realms of possibility to build a straight rhythm course in a city centre, like Amsterdam or Manchester or
Hmm.
London,
Hmm.
or I think it's got a real potential to be a proper series. Do you think you could go that far with it?
Well, there's like thousands and million options, of course, what we can do, what we want to do, and things like that. So yeah, it can be, and it is in some way it is kind of maybe easier than BMX racing, because like some family members of me, they were there and they not know anything about BMX, but they say you got like two riders, only the winner go to through the next round. And BMX
Yeah,
racing, of course, it's like, okay, you got 8 people, top four will make it, and it just sometimes it just be like, okay, what's going on? There happen so many things. So yeah, it can be quite easy as well to do it in the cities or things like that, like in big cities. So yeah, I think it will, but we will just now focus on this, and then we will see what will happen in the future.
yeah, yeah. Who do you think would be the ruler of straight rhythm racing? Who is the rider you think, oh, they could absolutely smash this with no problems whatsoever? Because obviously it's very different to like regular BMX racing, because you've not got the opportunity to put the power down. It's all about generating the speed off the jump. So I think it's a godsend for somebody like Kai White or Renaud Blanc, or one of those riders who've got real skills and the ability to generate power or speed off the back of a jump. Is there any particular rider you think straight rhythm might be more suited to?
Well, that's what we talked about as well, like Kyle White, because he can be, especially in the last race with uh like deep jumps and things, that he can get something out like, wow, he's quite fast in that. So we were thinking about, and well, and that's what he did. Like in practice, he looked a bit like, well, okay, yeah, he goes really well, and then in racing, it looks really fast in that. So I was just excited for like the final races, but yeah, of course, because of the weather, we had to stop. And well, also because, or maybe he trained much, but he is just really talented, like Julian Buys was, like my teammate, and he is so fast on the track as well. And the thing is, okay, you can be good maybe in BMX, but the straight rhythm is something else because you have to totally focus on yourself because there's a line in the middle, and in BMX racing you can just cut someone off. But here, if you made a mistake, then you're done. So I think especially like all the really technical riders, well, of course, like Kai White, he will come far in the racing if there's next year the next episode, and we can just finish the races.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm really excited by it. I
Hmm.
think it could be a real plus for our sport. It could build the appeal of the sport. It could take us into places we've never been. It could put us in front of people who wouldn't normally watch it. You know,
Hmm.
like I said, I think certain energy drink sponsors, no name mentioned, could actually get hold of that and turn it into a series. And that's why I think it's so exciting. So, and obviously, it gives you the opportunity then to kind of have some investment behind what you do and make your scenario that little bit bigger. Did you have sponsors to help you put on the event, or did you just shoulder all the cost yourself, you and Justin?
No, no, of course we got like a lot of sponsors, a lot of partners, and we're still thankful for them that they will want to help us. And well, that's the thing. We are just, that sounds weird to say about yourself, but yeah, we got like a big name in the sport, and a lot of people know who we are, and a lot of people they stood behind our project, and they're like, yeah, I want to help, and they're just okay if I can do more, or if there are any more questions, or I don't know what, they were ready for that. And also the local like kind of commune, they helped us because it is kind of interesting because it is not only like a party. I mean, I think you also got like some local parties. They put up like a tent with like a DJ, and they sing all night and drink all night and go home, things like that. Yeah, well, that's how it is here, like especially in Holland. They put up like a tent, and yeah, that's it. But we just like we put up like a tent and with DJs things like that. But we also did like sport activities. So we bring in like around 300 people, like that they in endurance that they do something, and that's also what they like. And it was totally something new, so we got some help from that. And of course, yeah, you have to invest yourself as well because if you behind like a big project and things, then you um, yeah have to invest it yourself, of course.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. There's got to be a bit of skin in the game from yourselves as well.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have a dream? I mean, I know you had DJs on. Have you got like a dream DJ or a dream music act that you would love to come and perform at the festival? Is there somebody you just thought, if I had the opportunity to get them in, that would be like amazing?
Yeah, well, that's quite funny. There's like an band that is like really close, pretty local to us. It's like really Dutch music and just really kind of rock music. And I will just really happy if they will come ever like on a festival. But I think that's like what I really we talked about and thought about it. But then the festival has to grow for like maybe 2, 3,000 people more, things like that. So if they will come, I will just probably in front of the stage and sing all every song of them. Yeah, well, I can't
Yeah.
say
So
the name. Yeah,
yeah. So how many people actually attended then in total? Do you know what your attendance was? I'm sure you do.
yeah. We just were around between 12 and 1,300, something like that. And we
Wow.
just and we were just uh, we were hoping that it will come like 1,000 people. So yeah, we are more than happy for that.
Yeah. Wow.
So in
Well,
total, there were enough. Yeah,
yeah. Well, I think you can only grow as well from that. If you're starting at like, 12, 1,300 people and it grows from there, hopefully it'll be growing in a manageable format as well. And you can sort of turn it into something really good. So, like I said, I was just so blown away by it. The fact that people would turn up to a festival that has a BMX event involved in it. I just thought, yeah, that was absolutely mega because yeah, it's certainly what the sport needs. Um,
yeah,
I mean, just moving on, because you are yourself and Justin, when you think about it, you two are like a real pair of entrepreneurs, and you've got the Jeniton brand as well. Is that how you
yeah.
pronounce it? Yeah, you got the
Yeah, yeah,
Jenton brand,
yeah.
which you've been running for a few years now. So yeah, your kind of an entrepreneurial roots run deep. How did the clothing brand start? Give us a bit of background on that one.
Yeah, that was a bit like that was in the COVID time. We said this word like yeah, just like genieten, like it's like having fun, having pleasure, things like that. And we just keep saying that to each other in a friend group. And then some famous people from Holland, they start using that word on Instagram. So we're like, okay, the first thing we want to do is like that word has to be us, and then we will see what we're going to do with it. And yeah, in the COVID there was nothing to do. We gave like a lot of clinics and things like that, so we were like, okay, maybe we can do like something with clothing. So we just, yeah, we brought it to the clinics and see if it will sell, and it worked out. People, they selling it, like a lot of family members and things like that, and everyone just liked it. And then yeah, you start with one piece and then you keep rolling, and then yeah, you're here where we are now. So now we just like how you say it, like we first started with a t-shirt and a hoodie, but now we got like socks, we got like other shirts, we got like flip-flops, we got like caps and things like that. So it's getting bigger, but it's of course going, everything is going slow. You always want to do it faster, but it's like slowly it's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you're kind of almost branching out and making it a full range of, clothing and footwear now
yeah.
as well. So yeah, plenty going on then. Because did I notice as well on your Instagram that you had some race kit? I'm assuming somebody made that up for you. I don't think you've gone as far as making race kit yet, have you?
Sorry.
You haven't gone as far as making race jerseys and race pants.
Yeah, well, like with the WLM, like they it's like a Dutch brand that we work with them together. So we not made it ourselves, things like that. They made it for us, and then like with their brand on it, things like that. So of course we will also think about it. Yeah, do we want to do something ourselves or things like that? But now we just want to focus on the casual shirts and things like that. And then it, because yeah, we are out of the BMX, so it's fun to do it together with them. So it's good for us and it's good for that company, so that we can sell a bit. But the main focus is just normal casual clothing.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah,
Okay. I didn't know whether you were going as far as actually making race jerseys and race pants,
yeah,
but that's a whole other level of investment anyway, isn't it? So
yeah. That's true, and of course now as well with, okay, you got the cloth and you got like the festival. Then you have to think about, okay, and you still like BMX races. Okay, what you want to do, because you got like a certain of time and you cannot get more than 24 hours a day. So you can have like thousand ideas, things like that, but you have to focus on a few. So that's as well what we think about. Okay, what we gonna do, or what we gonna invest more time in it and things like that. So like so many things um going on. And of course, like I'm 28 and I want to do like 10 times more BMX, but I have to be honest to myself. So how many years can I keep going? That's also like the big question, of course.
yeah, yeah, because I did wonder, how much of an effect it would have on you. Not so much like post Olympics and that kind of thing, because that was probably the best time to kind of run an event
Hmm.
like that. But like you say, next year when you're back on the World Cup scene and you've got training commitments and you want to be 100% committed to your sport, and it's a juggling act, I suppose, to actually be able to run something like that to the point where you can do it properly, but also it doesn't affect your sporting ambitions.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the funny thing is, you do almost everything just on your laptop. You open it, you do like emails, you call with people and things like that. So a lot of things you do there, and then to make sure you got like everything booked and everything planned like that. And then it's only like, well, I say only, but it's still a lot of work. But it's like 2 weeks that you work like physically.
Yeah,
And that's also what we talked about it, of course. And well, the thing is, we not have to build a BMX track now, and that's of course like that's a big thing. And now we learn from this year and how we can plan things better, or just things like that. And that's like the big, um, yeah, that's like a big thing for next year, that we just plan maybe things way better than this year, and then yeah, we will see how it goes, because this year we not really care about, okay, if we do like 100 hours or 200 hours of self, because just now we both were just injured and like not thinking about the BMX, but just thinking about that, and that's also good because normally when you're injured, you sit on the couch and you want to be healthy as fast as possible, quick as
Yeah.
possible, of course. And now we just like, okay, we're injured. We just kind of accept it and focus on what we can do next to BMX. So also that, well, if I if I can hear myself and talk about, there's still so many things how we're gonna do it for next year, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So I think you've got the
Yeah.
opportunity to streamline it now that you know what you're doing. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've just
Yeah.
realised actually we've been talking for about 30 minutes and we haven't actually said anything about racing yet. We've not
I'm still
actually had
BMX racer. Yeah.
any BMX conversation. Yeah. So yeah, I suppose we better dip into that, haven't we? So I mean, your 2024 season, I think it's probably fair to say, didn't really go the way that you wanted it to go just because of the injuries. It seemed like, you know, between collarbones and ankles and various other things, it just didn't happen for you in the 2024 season. So what's your situation now, kind of physically? Are you recovered from everything? Just take us through 2024 and let us know what went on.
Well, the thing is, I was just talking with my physio 2 weeks ago, and he was like, if you think back, I was just riding 2 races this year. I was riding healthy, and the rest of the year I just was not healthy enough. Or just got like something with my ankle or collarbone or shoulder or things like that. Because I started off in November, just worked hard till New Zealand, and I just felt really good. Everything's worked out pretty well, and the program was good. And came in New Zealand, the weather was of course good, so then I was just feeling way better, of course, as well. And then 3 days before the race, I crashed, got a concussion, and yeah, of course, then you're not allowed to race. So
Yeah,
like shit. And then of course you first of all you think like, okay, shit, I cannot race, and then okay, there's the Olympics, but okay, it's the first race, let's go. And then Australia, they gave me like green light, the physio and the doctors just to ride, and I felt good, felt everything felt really good and great, and start practicing. Yeah, felt like the same as like 4 weeks ago, pretty normal. And yeah, I crashed again on Friday before Australia, and then I was like, what's going on? Is there something I don't know what? And then just went home, just all yeah, of course, pretty shit and things like that. And then, well, you got like two options. So to keep going or just like, okay, let it be what it is. And of course, I'm the one. I always want to keep going, going, going. And then went to Sorian's European Cup, was okay, but not good enough. Then went home, just trained good, and then there was like a national race on that was good, and then the European Cup in Zolder, I rode the final. I was like, okay, this is like. Then really felt like the level I had before New Zealand again. So keep training, training, training till I came in Czech Republic. I over jumped it out of the first corner and just got something with my ligaments in my ankle. And from that till September, it was like kind of painful
yeah,
for my
yeah,
ankle. And I just went to Tulsa, the World Cup. And if I think about it now, yes, then maybe it's stupid. But back then, you just still was not qualified for the Worlds. And still, you think about Olympics, but yeah, it's just, yeah, it's not worth it. It was not worth it to do. But afterwards, it's always easy to say than before, of course. And then the European champs in Verona, I just on the last straight, I just hit like a jump, and my ankle wasn't strong enough, so I just kind of got the same issues again with my ankle, and that was the moment I was like, I think I'm just done or something like that, and then can be worse. A week later, I just crashed on my own track, like at the festival, and kind of dislocated my collarbone on this side here. It just
okay,
came out, and then there was something with my thumb, and that was the moment. Okay, I was just done until this was beginning of June till halfway September. I barely trained. I just was focusing on my festival and just like, and of course, I just asked myself 20 times, okay, is this what I want? Do I want to keep going with BMX? Well, then it's getting pretty personal, of course. But the biggest thing is, of course, I just want to keep going. I just like BMX. Well, I will not say I breathe BMX, but I just think about it every day. And of course, then I want to keep going. And I also know if I'm healthy enough, then I got like a kind of a level. my goal was to be healthy 1st November. I am healthy, so of course still a bit. I feel my collarbone, but yeah, that's I can do my training for 99% all of my training, so that's good enough for me. And there's still a long way to go before the first World Cup, so I can be fit enough for that.
Yeah, because certainly things like you mentioned about, damaging ligaments in your ankles, I've been
Yeah,
told by a couple of people that ligament damage is actually worse than breaking a bone because you just
yeah,
don't know how long it's going to take to heal and what the the level of damage that you've done. If you look at an X-ray and you've got a break in your leg, for instance, then it's going to be like, I don't know, 9 to 12 weeks or whatever it might be. There doesn't seem to be a timeline with ligament injuries. So I think people get more frustrated with ligament injuries than anything else. So it's yeah, clearly had a rough season. Couple of, like you say, making the Euro Cup final at Zolder on the Saturday and getting a sixth. At least that the level is still there and you can get back to that level. So I'm assuming that's what you're pushing for.
yeah. That's true, and also because like also next year, just why I want to keep going, of course. Well, like the Worlds are in Copenhagen, and what I already told, it feels a bit like kind of a home track. Sarian's World Cup and Pavlov, of course, and all those tracks I know really good. I'd like to be there, like to ride there, and the thing is, of course, okay, we talk about the World Cups, but it's still longer than 7 months. But I just really like to train and things like that, and I think, and that's also what me keeps going because the biggest question you always have to ask yourself: do you like it? Yes. Do you want to work for it? Yes. So then, why should you stop? Never. Just keep going, going, going till you're satisfied, or when you just really got the feeling it's enough. You're not. It's not always about that you win every race. If you got like fun, if you're happy with your result, things like that. That says also enough, and then that can keep you going, going, and going. Of course, everyone want to be European, World Champ, Olympic champs, things like that, and of course I want to
Yeah.
be that as well. But that's the thing. Just do what makes you happy, and yeah, then you will see where it ends.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, as long as the fire's still burning, that's the most
Yeah,
important thing.
that's the
Absolutely.
that's the really most important thing. If it's burning, and if you, well, I would say if I keep going out of bed, and the first thing I want to do is ride my bike, this is the thing what I want to do for sure.
Okay, cool. You alluded earlier on before we started recording to some changes that were going on with your coaching scenario. Can you dig a bit deeper into that?
Yeah, that's true. Like the what was it, like around the summer or something? Martijn Jaspers, he like was my coach since I trained with him since 2017 at the Ukuma TV team, and then we went together to the national team in end of 2021. But he just stopped working end of October, like our assistant coach. He stopped, and like Rob van der Wildenburg, he's still there till end of December, and the group as well. So we train still. We just train all together, and the federation is just working for like a new coach, and that's where we just have a hope. We hope for that it will everything will be fine, things like that. So we just train pretty hard every day, and like the federation is working for a new coach, and then I think we just keep going, going, going with training. But who will be the new coach? We still don't know.
You still don't know, right?
No,
Okay, so the
no.
the wheels are turning to find a new coach for the Dutch squad. So I suppose that's kind of like the headline, I suppose, in that there's going
Yeah,
to be some.
that's true. But like, we still, I mean, we are just on top of it all. We know all the things, and what I say, like Rob is still there to end of the year, and yeah, so there's still a lot of things, but it feels a bit normal. But of course, yeah, we're just also a bit like, okay, let's go. We want to keep going. We want to know it, and that's like a bit of a both things. But yeah, I think it will be fine, and let's hope for the best.
Yeah, yeah. You seem like the Dutch squad. They're very like the French in that you seem like a very kind of tight knit unit, even though you're all independent in that you're on the track and you're all looking to win for yourself. There's a camaraderie there between like the riders. Is that a fair comment? Are the Dutch quite tight as a group?
Yeah, I think so. Like, well, Dave. he stopped now, and well, Nick is the same age as me, and but then, well, all the younger guys they are then 21 or something. But it's funny. Like, well, I'm 28, and they 21. The age difference is quite big, but I don't know. It just feels good, and they also just want to work really hard, and I think that's what it makes the team really good because every day working hard, get everything out of yourself and just push each other. And I think on the track, of course, they always say on the track you're not got friends, things like that. But I think next to the track when we train, we always just push each other, help each other where we can, and also when we just got lunch, we almost always together eating on Papadal, having dinner together on Papadal. And it's not that we see each other in the weekends almost, but it's close to that. So yeah, that's just really good to have. Well, you work with them every day, but also just kind of friends.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Excellent. It's nice to hear. So
yeah, of course.
brilliant, brilliant. Well, kind of, we've done about 40 minutes now. So I kind of wanted to ask you a few kind of quick fire questions as well. I don't know if I've pinched that little phrase off Coffee Chatter. If I have, I'm sorry, Tori and James even. I'll have to find a more original name for it. But yeah, a few quick fire questions for you. So who was the rider that you looked up to as a kid? Who was your hero?
Yeah, back then it was just always like Sam Willoughby, Mary Strombergs, and that those days like I always looked at them, and especially Sam Willoughby that he was like on a young age that he was riding really good. So yeah, I just looked at them just on YouTube and everything like that. Everything I've seen every video, of course.
Yeah. Right. Okay. So
Yeah,
Sam Willoughby was the fuel for the Mitchel Schotman fire. I like that. I
yeah, of
like that
course.
a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Is there a moment in your BMX career that you would like to experience again? Which one is it and why?
Yeah. That's like 21 at the Worlds in Papadal. It was my first Worlds in Elite, and I rode the final, got six. But that you're doing good at Worlds, that was good. But riding Worlds in your home country and doing good, I can say to everyone, that's what you have to do. So I want to experience that again. And that's the thing. Next year, there's like Copenhagen. So I hope I can do it over again there.
Yeah. Yeah. So kind of like
Yeah.
say like a second home worlds for you. So you
Yeah.
got the
Yeah.
opportunity to kind of experience it all. Is there a race that you'd like to take back and rerun again just so you can change something about it?
Well, that's funny. Well, that's like last year, Argentina, was it the round nine? I was fourth in the last corner
Yeah.
and I crashed. And that's the lap I want to do over. Papendal last year as well. I was fourth on the last straight, and Dave van den Berg he passed me in just what was it 0.003 seconds or something. And there was like two finals. I was so close, but yet so far.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to do that one over, and also especially going to the towards the Olympics. Of course, that was really important to race finals. Well, that's like those two races, and well, then we just go really back. That's like 2018. I was just it was World Cup in Zolder, and I was second into the first corner, the quarterfinal, and I should ride my first semifinal. I was second into the first corner, but I think I was going too fast or something. I just overjumped the triple into the first corner, clipped out, and then I clipped in, and I just jumped the second straight, and then I just screw everything up. But then that's still a race. I just think about it right now, and if I close my eyes, think about it, I can almost feel every second from gate to the first corner, and yeah. But yeah, that was back in the
Yeah.
days. Let's make it better in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. If we get a time machine, we're taking you back to Belgium in
Yeah,
2018.
yeah, that's
Sounds
good
like a
because
plan.
then I can do like last year over again.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Argentina, yeah, that's a good plan.
If you were to be a professional in any other sport instead of BMX, which sport would it be and why?
Ooh, huh. Well, I will just. Well, Holland is like ice skating. I'll just like that. And then like the short track. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
yeah,
familiar with
yeah.
short track.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. I will just like to do that. Um, yeah, and well, doing track cycling, but that's still, I think, really close to BMX racing. So I think then that's why I should go for like the ice skating, I think.
Oh, okay, that's a good
Yeah,
answer. I like
yeah,
that. It's not the
yeah.
answer I actually expected from you, because
What did
you
you
know,
expect of that?
I expected you to want to be a professional footballer.
Yeah. No, I've done well. That's the thing. I've done football till I was 12,
Yeah.
and I just started racing when I was 9. And then the last year I did football, I was just asking the people around me like, how many minutes we still got because I was so done with it. So if I think about it, I will not. Well, yeah, financially you can do like a professional athlete, but that's like a professional football player. But that's not why you. Nah, I will not make me, and I will not do professional soccer. No, no, no.
Yeah, not exciting enough. Not enough excitement and danger in it. Plenty of cash, but that's about it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's it.
So
That's kind of stupid.
yeah,
Oh, if you only do it for that.
yeah. So last question then. Your plans for 2025. If 2025 was to go perfectly for you, what would you like to have happen apart from winning the Worlds in Copenhagen?
hmm Well, just if everything goes really well, then I just hope I can just do World Cups, Sarians, Papinal, racing like the finals, qualify for Worlds, and then be the best at the Worlds, and then see what I can do there.
Yeah.
That's like how I just will. That's how I will like to see it. And it's always say like, I just want to win this. I want to win every race, but that's like, okay, I want to be the best version of myself. Race finals, qualify for Worlds, and then on the Worlds just do what I can do. That's
Okay.
well goal for next year.
Fantastic. Brilliant
Yeah.
stuff. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Sounds like a really decent place to wrap this up. So, yeah, Mitchel Schotman, festival organizer, BMX racer. Oh, there was one other question as well.
Oh,
A friend,
yeah,
a friend of mine asked me to ask you this.
yeah.
He said, ask Mitchell. He said how he has such amazing hair when he takes his helmet off. He said his hair always looks brilliant, and I'm like, I can't ask him that, but clearly I am. So,
Well, that's a funny question. Well, I don't know. I just always got like some stuff in my hair, and I think when I do my helmet off, the first thing for you always do your hand through your hair, and then it's fine, just a bit like this, and then keep going. So I not really care about my hair when I'm on racing. But yeah, I think it's just that's how we're born with. Maybe it's natural.
yeah, yeah. Well, I've got no chance, have I? Do you know what I mean? I'm done. I'd
No,
love to be able to run my hand through any hair whatsoever, even if it's not my own, even if it's somebody else's. Do you know?
but when I
Uh,
got your age, we will see what my hair is doing then.
yeah, yeah. So there you go. Question asked. I can't believe I've said that, but there we go. Anyway, I was just about to wrap this up. So Mitchell, thank you for coming on the podcast. It's been an absolute blast. Can't wait to see you out on the track next year, and aiming for those World Cup and Worlds wins. And yeah, it's just been an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was really good just to do it, just to talk about everything, not only about BMX racing, but also about the festival, of course, and things beside the BMX. So you're welcome.
Okay. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks so much, and
Yeah,
hopefully I will see you at a race next season.
yeah. I hope it. I will race next
Yeah,
season better than this season, of course.
yeah, brilliant. Thanks so much. Cheers.
Yeah. Bye bye.